Ethan had never planned to fall for his boss. She was the kind of woman who walked into a room and carried it with her, calm and focused yet warm in a way that slipped past his guard. Lena wasn't just his supervisor at the design firm. She had become the person he looked forward to seeing each morning, even on the days when raising a 7-year-old alone had drained every bit of strength he had. They had kept their relationship quiet. She worried about office gossip. He worried about whether she truly meant what she said when she looked at him with tenderness. Still, 4 months it worked. They met after work, shared dinners, and talked about the world they wanted. She even laughed with his daughter, Mia, who adored her. That alone had been enough to convince him he could trust her with his heart. When Lena flew out for a 3-day business trip, Ethan decided to surprise her by bringing the sketches she had forgotten on her desk. They were for a major pitch she cared about, and she had stressed over them for weeks. He imagined the relief on her face when she opened the door and found him standing there with the folder in hand. Maybe she would pull him inside, kiss him, thank him for saving her day. He wanted to see her happy. He dropped Mia off with his sister and drove through the rainy evening to the hotel. Cars hissed by on the wet road. His stomach fluttered with anticipation, the way it used to when he first started falling for her. He rehearsed what he would say when she opened the door. When he knocked, the hallway was quiet except for the hum of some vending machine farther down. He waited with the folder pressed against his chest. The door opened, but not to Lena. A woman he had never seen before stood there, wrapped in a robe, her hair still damp from a shower. Her expression shifted through confusion, interest, and then something like caution. "Yes?" she asked. For a moment, Ethan couldn't speak. "I'm looking for Lena Ward. This is her room." The woman blinked. "You must be mistaken. I've been in this room since yesterday." He felt the words before he understood them. They sank into him like cold water. "Are you sure? She told me she'd be staying on the 12th floor. "This is the 12th floor," the woman replied. "Maybe try the front desk." He backed away slowly, murmuring an apology. The woman closed the door with a soft click that echoed through the hallway far louder than it should have. He stood without moving for a long moment, the folder still tucked under his arm. Something didn't make sense. Lena always sent him her schedule. She always kept him in the loop when she traveled. Her last message that morning had been simple: "Busy day ahead. I'll see. Miss you." If she wasn't in her room, where was she? And why would she lie? He went to the lobby and asked the clerk if Lena Ward was checked in. The clerk searched the system and shook his head. There was no reservation in her name. No record at all. Walking back outside, Ethan felt the rain soak through his shirt as he stood under the streetlights. He tried calling her, but her phone rang only once before jumping to voicemail. He tried again. Same result. His hands trembled, not from the cold. He forced himself to breathe. Maybe she had changed hotels. Maybe the company had moved her. Maybe her phone had died. There were explanations for all of it. But he also knew the quiet twist in his gut wasn't confusion. It was recognition. Something wasn't right, and some part of him had known it for longer than he wanted to admit. Sitting in his car, he scrolled through her recent messages. They were warm but shorter than usual. Her replies had grown delayed. She had canceled their dinner last week with a vague reason. Mia had asked why Lena hadn't visited lately. He had brushed it off. He leaned his head against the steering wheel, feeling the metal cool under his skin. He had loved once before and lost that woman to illness. He had raised his daughter alone with a heart patched together as best he could. Giving someone new a place inside it had been both terrifying and hopeful. Now it felt as if someone had reached in and pulled out what little he'd rebuilt. His phone buzzed. A message from Lena finally appeared. "Sorry, can't talk. Crazy day." He stared at it, the raindrops streaking the windshield. He typed a simple question. "Where are you staying?" He watched the 3 dots appear, vanish, then appear again. After a long pause, her reply came. Why? He swallowed hard. I came to bring your sketches. I'm outside your hotel. Another long silence followed. Then she wrote, Ethan, we should talk when I get back. No room number. No explanation. Nothing to ease the weight in his chest. He understood then that whatever truth she was hiding was not something she wanted to face tonight. And maybe not something he was ready to face either. When he finally drove away, the folder still lay beside him on the passenger seat, untouched. He felt empty but steady, as if the shock had carved out a quiet space inside him rather than crushing him all at once. He knew he would have to hear the truth. He knew it might end what they had. But he also knew he had survived worse before. He had Mia to return to. He had a life that didn't depend on anyone else to hold it together. In the rearview mirror, the hotel lights faded into the rain. He didn't know what Lena would say when she came home, or whether he would want to hear it. But he did know one thing: love built on silence could not survive daylight. And tonight, the daylight had finally broken.